Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Cowboys, Dak Prescott named 2023 MVP finalist. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott was named one of 5 NFL MVP finalists on Thursday. Prescott joins Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen, Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, San Francisco 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy, and San Francisco 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey as the MVP finalist. Prescott finished the NFL regular season with 4,516 passing yards, a league-leading 36 passing touchdowns and 9 interceptions en route to a 12-5 record. Additionally, Prescott joins Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb as a finalist for the Offensive Player of the Year award. Other finalists for the award include Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey, and Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill. The award nominees don't stop with the offense, as Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons and cornerback Darren Bland are both finalists for the Defensive Player of the Year award. Other finalists for the award include Las Vegas Raiders defensive end Max Crosby, Cleveland Browns defensive end Myles Garrett, and Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker T.J. Watt. The winners of the awards will be announced at the NFL Honors Ceremony on February 8. Cowboys' Dan Quinn is among top candidates for final 2 NFL head coach job openings. And then there were 2. Thursday afternoon got rather interesting as the Atlanta Falcons finally chose a new head coach, and despite all of the rumors and speculation, it was not the legendary Bill Belichick. Atlanta decided to go with Los Angeles Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris. When the offseason cycle began, there were officially 8 NFL teams, an entire quarter of the league, looking for new skippers to run their programs. With just a few sleeps left until Conference Championship Sunday, 6 of them have filled their posts. There are now 2 teams left, still looking in the Washington Commanders and Seattle Seahawks. Once the former picks a head coach, we will officially know all of the new head coaches who Dallas will face in 2024. See their opponent list here. For now, we know that the Cowboys will travel to face both Canales Panthers and Morris Falcons. But Dallas will visit and host a new head coach next season, as well as the Commanders are still looking for one. Washington, like Seattle, that is a weird way to put that, is important as it relates to the Cowboys staff because they have requested a second interview with defensive coordinator Dan Quinn. Seattle conducted their second interview with him on Thursday. Given that both the Commanders and Seahawks wanted to talk to Quinn again, it stands to reason that they both are seriously considering him as their next head coach. There are still all sorts of options on the table like Bobby Slowick, Mike Vrabel, and Ben Johnson, whose Detroit Lions are obviously still playing, but obviously Quinn has a history with Seattle specifically. It seems at the very least possible that he could get one of these jobs. We likely won't know until next week. Assuming that happens, the Cowboys will obviously need to fill their defensive coordinator role and could do so with an in-house promotion. The Cowboys staff in general is in a precarious sort of place, what with Mike McCarthy entering 2024 in the final year of his contract, so there is some unknown around everyone involved and their future. Perhaps McCarthy is out in 2025 while Dan Quinn is elsewhere. If that were to happen, then obviously Quinn would not coach the Cowboys, as so many people once thought would be the case. But given that Bill Belichick is likely not going to be coaching a team this season, and that he still likely wants to chase Don Shula's all-time wins record, you can bet your bottom dollar that Dallas will be connected to him many times between now and him finding a new home if he ever does. Cowboys pushed to replace Tony Pollard with physically dominant runner. The Dallas Cowboys could be on the search for a new franchise running back. As the Cowboys enter the offseason, they'll do so with running back Tony Pollard hitting free agency. Dallas could obviously re-sign, or even reapply the franchise tag on Pollard, but if they decide to go in a different direction, Indianapolis Colts running back Zach Moss is someone Dallas should pursue, says Bleacher Report's Joe Tanzi. Tanzi argues that Moss was a solid supporting piece to Jonathan Taylor as the Colts' rushing attack ranked within the top 10 in all major rushing categories, rushing yards, touchdowns, and yards per attempt. They could land a solid depth running back, like Zach Moss, to help the transition at the position from Pollard and Rico Dowdle, writes Tanzi. Dallas may be best off finding its new primary running back in the middle rounds of the 2024 NFL Draft, but if it goes that route, it needs to have a veteran in support of that player. The 26-year-old Moss had a breakthrough campaign in 2023 as he began the season as the Colts' starting running back. Due to Taylor being placed on the physically unable to perform list, Moss started 5 of the Colts' first 6 games. Moss ran for 466 yards on 96 carries on 4.9 yards per carry and 4 touchdowns during that stretch. While his role obviously diminished with the return of Taylor, he still posted the best season of his career. Moss finished the season with 794 yards on 183 carries on 4.3 yards per attempt to go along with 5 touchdowns in 14 games and 8 starts. Just prior to the 2020 NFL Draft, CBS Sports' Dave Richard raved over Moss' physically dominant running style. Zach Moss was a physically dominant rusher at Utah. If he can do the same in the NFL, he'll be among the best running backs in his rookie class. With Taylor entrenched as the Colts' starting running back, he signed a 3-year, $42 million contract extension during the season. It's likely that Moss seeks another situation where he'll be able to either start, at least garner the majority of the carries. According to Spotrac, Moss' market value is $4.6 million per year across 2 seasons at slightly more than $9.2 million. Moss would still just be the 18th highest paid back in the league. By comparison, Pollard's projected market value is $6.6 million per year across 3 seasons at slightly more than $19.8 million, which would make him the 11th highest back in the league. While Pollard's efficiency declined big time in his first season as a starting back, he averaged 4.0 yards per carry in comparison to the 5.2 yards per attempt he averaged during the 2022 season. He's still one of the better dual-threat backs in the league. Furthermore, he has a Pro Bowl selection, 2022, on his resume and scored 12 touchdowns, ranking 8th in the NFL, last season. To top it off, Pollard proved he can at least carry the load as a full-time running back, ranking 6th in the NFL with 307 touches. By comparison, Moss has started just 11 of his 53 career appearances and has never posted more than 210 touches in a single season. As Tansey mentions, if Pollard chases big money elsewhere, the Cowboys have to bring in a veteran, like Moss, to complement a young back they'll likely target in the draft. The possibility also exists where the Cowboys could simply pair Pollard and Moss together, if Pollard doesn't find a bigger deal elsewhere, but if Dallas is forced to move on from their Pro Bowl runner, Moss is a good replacement to target. And you fan, what do you think of the Tony Pollard situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.